Hi readers, welcome back to my channel, Lila Wanders and Reads. I have finally fixed the problem with my camera. I had to do a little Googling and it turns out, I think sometimes what happens is if you accidentally drain the battery gets confused. So you have to take the battery out for like 2 minutes and then try to restart it. So I did that, started right up this time. And I'm glad because I will be needing to use this camera during the summer for my classes. So, I did read 2 books this week, but they were not fiction books. They were both books. One I actually finished this week, and that was Gregory McGargie's War of Annihilation, Combat and Genocide on the Eastern Front, 1941. Now, I may have said last week that I'm on a break from classes. Break's over now. My next class starts Monday. It is called Decision Points 1, and it is about 2 decisions, the first of which is Hitler's decision to go to war with the Soviet Union in 1941. This book covers that. We're not required to read it for a couple more weeks. I actually have done all the reading for the first 3 weeks of the course, and I watched all the video lectures yesterday and Friday evening because I'm really excited to get into this course. While I was reading this, I had to take a work trip last week, and I listened to we actually only have to read a chapter of this, but I listened to the entire book of Russia's War, A History of the Soviet War Effort, 1941 to 1945 by Richard Overy. These 2 books, this one I read in the evenings on my trip and sometimes in the daytime. This one I listened to while I was driving. They are perfect together because while I was listening to this, I could visualize German advances into the Soviet Union and Soviet responses, and this book, I could read about it. So in both books, I was visualizing these battles. I will say this, I find Overy, on the whole, more accessible than Gregory McGargie. I think it's a language thing, but I think it also could be a font thing. Even though I didn't read much of this, I only read the chapter. The font is significantly bigger in here than in here, but also I mostly listen to this. And good narrator always makes a difference. I had a book that we are supposed to read from, and I will read from it, and I had it on audiobook, but the narrator was just not for me, so I ended up canceling it, and I'm glad because this went perfectly with this. Anywho, I did finish this on audiobook this week, and that is all the reading that I got done. I expect my reading this week will be really focusing on reading toward the discussion point that is due next Friday, and we'll see where it takes me. Anywho, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to read any more fiction for a while. I have started listening to Stephen King's From a Buick 8. I don't have a physical copy of that, and I'll probably continue on that, but again, I'm not really sure. I don't plan to pick up another fiction book for a minute because I have a lot of nonfiction reading to do. I haven't completed or caught up to the readings in weeks 4 through 7, so I've got to get on that. Anywho, so much my rambling about school and school books. I hope you've had a great week, a great reading week, and I hope that spring is coming soon for you. Anywho, if you've stuck with me this long, apologies, I have kind of a sore throat. I got sick on my trip, the entire drive down, and I'm still on the other side of it, or getting on the other side of it, but pollen has come to town, so that is not helping the situation at all. As always, if you've stuck with me this long, thank you for sticking with me on my journey, and happy reading.